Welcome back aboard Arabella, where this week Steve is exploring a few climbing spots that he and Robin will go back to when she's back with the climbing gear and the truck. But first, Steve takes Arabella on a short trip around the corner and into Terence Bay, putting them closer to several interesting-looking climbs. The narrow and shallow strip that connects the bay to Grover Cove, where the anchorage is, has a section that needed to be timed correctly in order to enter without the risk of Arabella striking bottom.
But we're far enough north that the tides here are fairly substantial, so it's 5-6 foot tide. So if there's 4 feet at low tide, there's something like 11 feet at high tide, and 11 feet is way more than enough. So high tide there is about 11:30 today. I'm about 10 miles away, so figure 2.5 hours to get there at a moderate pace. There's no wind today, visibility is great, so it should be pretty prime conditions for slipping in there. Got to go get the anchor up, fire up the engine, and we'll do solo journey number 2. This one will be all motor. There's no wind to sail right now, and we're at such a short distance that it really would be kind of silly to put the sails up. So let me get a few things ready here, and we'll leave Cub Basin and head on down to Terence.
See you later, Cub Basin. Oh, it was lovely. Highly recommend.
Pulling the anchor up went smooth this morning, as did getting out of Cub Basin, and I'm now in the main body of Terrence Bay and slowing way down before we go in. I'm here a little bit earlier than I wanted to be. But a little bit early is a heck of a lot better than a little bit too late. So I want to hit the end of the rising tide and ride that in, which should give me plenty of water over that rock. And if for some reason I do get hung up, it'll give me a little bit of time with slack tide to hopefully get off it. If we arrived a little too late, we would be going in on a dropping tide, and that would make me very nervous. I'd much rather go in at the tail end of a rising one. So it's hard to speed the boat up and make it go faster than she can. It's a lot easier to slow her down or do a couple donuts and buy a little time. So we're doing about 3.5 knots right now, just under 1,500 RPMs, and are just poking our way in and killing a little bit of time. But oh man, it looks beautiful, and there's just cliffs all along the shoreline. I can't wait to explore this place. See our path here from Cub Basin out and around. And this is our goal here, is Grover Cove. And this is our little skinny section here that we need to make sure we hit at high tide. All right, here we go. Into the Narrows. Coming into this bay, it doesn't even look like there's an opening back here. But here it is. Right now we're in 50 feet of water underneath the boat. Still 40 feet underneath us. So cool. And the locals seem friendly. Judging by the water line on the rocks, we are about at high tide. Okay, we're about to the shallow spot. We are just a few minutes before high tide, according to the online resources. And judging by the shoreline, we are indeed about there. It's got a few inches, maybe 6-8 inches to go up, which shouldn't make any difference at all for us going over this. But if something happens, that does buy us a little bit of time. 9 feet. And this isn't 9 feet of water from the surface. This is 9 feet under our keel. And it's set a wee bit generous. So we don't actually strike bottom at 0, but you should really start panicking if you see 0. All right, 10 feet under us. All right, we're coming up on the skinniest stretch here. Woo, I can see the bottom. Oh, this is great. Looks like a nice sandy bottom. Sandy, muddy. Woo! All right, we're through. Oh, this is awesome. All right, anchorage is literally right around the corner. Any guesses as to how many boats are in it? Oh, this is so pretty. I've said that like 100 times. I'm gonna say it 100 more. Anchored in Terrence Bay. We've got one other boat here. And I gotta go give it a good scout. But I think this might be known as Akiva Island for a while. And go make sure that there's no birds or any critters he's gonna disturb, but as long as that seems devoid of that, that might become Akiva's hangout. What do you think, Akiva? You ready to go explore a new place? He's like, let's go. This is how Robin and I decide where in Nova Scotia to go. We look at the climbing guide and we compare it to the cruising guide and Navionics and see how close we can get to the crags and go there. So we are in Terence Bay. So Arabella is anchored right here in Terence Bay River and Grover Cove. And the climbing is at the kitchen and the crow's nest. So we could take the tender for sure and go to the crow's nest, probably faster and easier than hiking. But that's going to depend on what the sea state and the wind in Terence Bay is. And hiking will also help get us more fit and gives Akiva a walk. So I would like to hike there most days if we can. So yesterday, Akiva and I went in and found First Crossing and Grover Falls, and found a bunch of boulders and a bunch of trails that all petered out through there. And after a while, found my way over to Round Pond and then to Second Crossing. And we lost the trail again at Second Crossing. And we had been out for a while. It was time to get back. So Akiva and I bailed there. We didn't make it to the kitchen or crow's nest. And the mission today is to just hoof it over to Second Crossing, since we know where that is, and see if we can find the kitchen and the crow's nest. Because I don't have climbing gear, and Robin's not here yet, so it is a fine time to go do some bushwhacking and see if we can figure out where this trail is, so that when we do have full packs and we're going to go climb for the day, we can just head right there. So let's go on a scouting mission. You ready for round 2? Think we can find the cliffs today? What do you think? You ready? Are you psyched? Let's do it! All right, come on. Come on. Akiva, come. Really? Fine, I'll get in first. Oh, this is one heck of a trail. I think we're getting close though. I got past the second stream crossing. I figured out where I went wrong. Seems like the ocean. Seems like we're gaining. Whew. There's some blue paint. All right, I think this way. Whew. All right, I think that's it over there. I think I'm gonna save myself the rest of this schwack. I think Robin and I can figure it out from here. That's the bulk of it. Whew, that's a stroll. Akiva's been enjoying Akiva Island in the mornings. I dropped him off there about an hour ago and I think he's ready. He just started yelling at me. Do you want to come back? You had enough? Oh man, he is a wild one. Not bad for 14, not bad.
There were still 2 plumbing jobs that needed to be done in the head. 1 to get hot water over to the shower, and 2 to get the drain of the shower pan hooked into the gray water tank. Neither of them have much minded using the solar shower on deck up to this point, but when it soon comes time to overwinter in Newfoundland, it'll be nice to finally have a hot indoor shower.
I need to get this hose onto there and then connected to either one of these, which will drain into the gray water tank and overboard. So when we did the plumbing, it was always intended for there to be a sink and a shower drain. So we left 2 pieces of PVC here. I'm gonna have to cut this because we glued the cap on, but I knew that from the get-go. Now my only hiccup, the only thing I couldn't really get a nice smooth connection for was from on the bottom of the drain here to our hose. So I'm gonna heat this hose up and see if we can get it squishy enough to shove on there.
Getting there.
Getting there. Down there.
All right. Look at you.
That was a fight. But I won. On to the next fight. This removable shower pan was one of the first things I ever fiberglassed. We went and did that with Total Boat in Rhode Island when we did the fridge. And it needs a little bit of clearance to be able to slide it in out of here. So I'm gonna go through and use 4200 and seal up all of these seams. And then we've got a bigger one here where our PEX goes through and where our water maker flushes go through. I'm gonna fill these ones with butyl and seal them up with that. And then that way this pan and this whole assembly will still be somewhat removable. You'll just have to come through with a razor knife and cut the bead of 4200, which a pain in the butt, but you shouldn't have to do that very often. Before I go and put 4200 in the corners, I'm going to take the little abrasive pad here, just scuff up the paint and make sure there's no residue on anything. So I really want this 4200 to make sure that we have a good seal and that we're not dripping shower scum into the bilge, which would be very bad for the bilge. You can see that some paint came off, and that's exactly what we want to do. And now we're going to take some denatured alcohol and a rag, go through and wipe that seam and get any residue off. And I'm just going to work myself all the way around the head and get all these seams prepped and ready.
Akiva is like so.
Oh yeah, I mean this is what he was like brought into this world to hunt. This is what he was made. Yeah. Shall we?
We shall.
To sorrow's end, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to go climbing.
Oh my gosh, this is like a dream.
It's been so long.
Look at this little guy.
So according to the guidebook, this becomes an absolute maze of ATV trails.
Okay.
And they just kind of say, like, pick one
Okay.
and keep trying to stick towards the main ones.
Okay.
So we can compare as we go along, but it seems like it's gonna be a maze.
If this is any indication of what the mountain biking trails are gonna be like, I'm really excited.
This is like a treasure map. Follow the ATV trail until it starts to divide into multiple trails. Don't panic. Stay on a main trail sticking to the right. After a few more minutes, you will see two large boulders that look like they are engaging in a conversation in front of you in the distance. Keep heading towards them. The trail will move off to their left and you will go between two smaller boulders that are like gates, passing through them at about the 10-minute mark. You got that?
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like we're on the search for One-Eyed Willie or something.
I feel like the descriptions are really like the boulders that look like they're having a conversation with each other.
They're telling a story.
Not objective at all.
No.
Yeah.
All right, let's go see what we can find.
All right. We're going through two boulders.
Yeah, and it said that we would go to the left of the ones that look like they were talking to each other. So maybe that is these two over here?
Yeah.
It's hard
Okay.
telling.
Hard telling.
So we're gonna call these the gates. This feels gate-like.
Feels gatey.
Feels gatey. All right, so what do the bones tell us after this? From there, the trail will dip down to the left and come back up again. At this point, you should be able to see the cliff in front and to the right of you. The ATV trails become a bit of a maze, but just keep picking whichever trail takes you towards the cliff and keeps your feet as dry as possible. You will pass a pond on your right and you will come up over a rise.
You proud of me? I'm taking all the spider webs.
Nice, good job. I think that's the pond.
There it is. Oh my gosh, what a swimming hole.
No kidding.
Ha. Oh,
Wow, this doesn't suck.
no, that's cool.
Oh, that cliff looks great. It doesn't look super tall, but
No, this is awesome.
it looks fun, looks clean.
Yeah.
Check out these flowers. I've never seen anything like this. That's so cool. That's super neat. If you know what these are, let us know in the comments. Very cool. Boom, there it is.
We have arrived. Oh, yay. Wow.
Very cool.
Huh.
Oh yeah, look
Ooh,
at
look at the
perma draws. What do you think? Walk up to those flat rocks up there? Seems kind
Yeah.
of like Central Cliff, and see if we can get our bearings.
Yeah.
They spent the next few days getting out the climbing gear on a few of the local walls. And next week, they'll take young Aaron from the boat shop days out on one of the walls Steve had scouted earlier. Thanks for joining for this one, and we'll see you again next Friday.
What do you think?
Oh, this is like such a gift. I don't have the cold air blowing on me.
Yeah, I mean, when it's 70, it's not too bad,
No.
but it's you add a little bit of a breeze and it's brisk.
Yeah. No, this feels great.